Angels, in today's episode, I want to talk to you about, are you too accessible? What signs are showing that you are too accessible for people? Are you depleting yourself? Are you putting yourself last? Is it leaving you to feeling run down, burnt out and exhausted? I want to share with you a bit of a revelation that came through for me in the last actually this episode came to me in the last half an hour based on a series of sequences that have happened over the last few days that I thought there's a really good lesson in this for all of us. So let's dive in. Hi, my beautiful friends. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about something that's come up for me, literally a sequence of events that have happened over the last few days, but I had a revelation in the last probably half an hour. I was going to podcast on something completely different today, and then I had this revelation. I'm like, oh my goodness, I actually need to talk about this because I think this lesson that I have been hit with will make such a good teaching experience. I know that it's going to help you, and I always love to share from the heart and share from experience and share from just being really raw and vulnerable and honest with you guys, because it just makes me relatable, and that's how I am. I am relatable, and that's why a lot of women love working with me, love coming to the studio, because they just feel that they're in a very safe space of relatable, real women, just like each one of us. So what happened? I've been at work this morning. It's Monday morning. I taught an early bar class. I had, Pilates class this morning. It was a rainy morning and I had to get my car into the mechanics. I've come home, I had a bit of time to kill, come home and got all my coaching content up for my group coaching container. And then I had to run out the door and take my car to the mechanic. And the reason being, look, it's probably overdue for a service. It's not up to the Ks yet, but I'm like, yeah, I've had it for a little while. It needs to probably go in for a service, but I ignored it. And the engine light came on last week. So I had to pop it in, get the code thingy checked. It's all okay, but they said, yeah, bring it in for a service. It's just a little valve that we need to replace. It's fine to drive. I'm like, okay, no worries. And then didn't think too much more of it. This morning, however, I'm about to get my car ready to go to the mechanic, and it dawned on me that engine light was like a representation of me. It's like my car body, it come up with this warning light, this engine light, which was orange. And I'm like, oh my goodness, the engine light came on at the exact same time that last week I had a massage. Every fortnight I go and see my amazing masseuse, Jen. If anyone needs her details, let me know. She's seriously the best. I've been seeing her for over 7 years. And for the whole time I've had the studio, I've been seeing her fortnightly for my maintenance, right? I just love it. I love her so much. And when I was there last Wednesday, she said to me, we got to the end of the massage and she said, Lise, for the last 2 fortnights, your mind has been racing. I can feel it. You're not switching off like you usually do. I can feel it in your body, this particular massage. She said, I can feel it in your body. If you don't slow down, your body's going to force you to. Something's going to happen. And I'm very blunt in saying that. And I know you're not going to be very happy with me, but I'm just giving you the warning, and it's up to you what you do with it, okay? But I can feel it in your body. Your body is tense. Your body is, I don't feel stress, right? But she said, I can feel the stress in your body, and I'm just giving you this warning, okay? And I said, I know, Jen, it's fine. Like, I'm okay. I still come for my massage. I still have, many mornings if I'm not at the studio, I have my morning rituals where I sit and have my raw cacao. I have my bit of quiet time. And I'm doing things for myself. She said, I know you know how to do that, but I'm telling you, you need to switch off. Your mind is not switching off. I said, I'm just on a burst. It's just a burst period where I've just got a lot going on. I feel like I'm kind of leveling up. I'm evolving my brand. I'm leveling up my business, myself. I feel like I'm looking at everything and I'm starting everything from scratch. And like I'm doing the website, I'm redoing software. Like there's just a lot. I got teacher changes. There's a lot happening, and it's needed change, 100%. Like it's definitely needed change. But she said, I'm just giving you the warning. You do with it what you want, okay? And I said, okay, I love you. I appreciate that, Jen. Thank you. And it did. It definitely sat with me. And I went home thinking about it and still thinking, yeah, I still do my little rituals. I'm okay, right? And I had some busy days planned. On the Friday, I was at work. I was up at 3:30. I had to go to the studio to teach a class, then race straight down for a day retreat that I was helping Sally, my business coach, facilitate at. She runs a businesswoman's retreat where you have kind of a day where you clock out of your business and work on your business. But more importantly, as a business owner, you take time out to reset, and you take time out to get the clarity and the vision away from the busyness. And in my mind, I knew I had this event and I was going as to facilitate a certain section of the afternoon. So part of me knew that I would get wisdom from Sally, as I always do, and from Jenny, the beautiful breathwork facilitator, and Cacao priestess was there too. So I was looking forward to that. But if I'm really honest, in my mind, I'm like, I've got so much going on right now that I was just, I guess, questioning how present I can be for myself at the retreat, because I know when I go into service mode with you guys, like when I podcast or when I coach or when I'm teaching a class on the mat or when I am in a women's circle, I just flick a switch and I just go into service mode. So that was never an issue for me. I knew I would deliver 110% with the girls in my section. But at the same time, I thought, I've got to get my podcast out. I don't have my podcast out ready for Monday. I'm so far behind in everything. So I raced home. I went, I'll just try and smash it out. I raced home from the studio, come down here to record a podcast for you guys about something that I'll talk about next week. And I started recording. And as I'm recording, I'm thinking to myself, this just isn't good. Like, because I'm coming from that energy of, I have to get it done. And when I say that, that sounds really bad. I don't mean that. I love sharing with you guys. But in terms of I'm running out of time, I need to get it done because I need to get it to my IT guy so he can load it. But I never like podcasting when I've got somewhere I have to race off to. So it went against every value that I have. Just for me, I know it flows better when I'm just in a state of just not looking at the clock. And I started recording. I got 20 minutes in. I went, this is rubbish. And I turned off the camera and I packed up and I went up. And I was a bit cranky that I didn't get it done. And then I went to the retreat, and the moment I sat down by the fire and had my raw cacao and the sun hit my skin, I was like, oh, this is so what I need right now. I just need to pause. And often we do that when we go to a retreat. We kind of think about how much we've got to do. But then when you get there, you're like, thank God I'm here, right? So that's kind of how I was feeling. And as the day kind of got on, I started getting, I was just so tired. I just felt tired in every level. Like my eyes felt tired, my body felt tired. My section rolled around. I delivered an amazing event because I felt it and I got feedback from the girls. And then I drove home. And it hit me the moment I was talking to Sally after everybody had left. And I'm like, I've just got to go. And I drove home feeling so tired. And like, you know, when you kind of can feel a bit of a flu coming on, and I never get sick and I never get the flu. And I could just feel in my body that I just needed to go to bed. I'm just like, please just make it home safely. And I literally got home at 6 o'clock. I was in bed at 6:45. That is not like me at all. And I went, I'm not setting an alarm. I'll often set an alarm. I'm just going to sleep until I wake up. Anyway, I got like the hot and cold. I could feel my throat getting a bit sore. And I felt like a bit of a flu coming on during the middle of the night. I slept good, and I woke up and I thought to myself, because I had planned all weekend to work. I've got software I'm updating. I've got a huge week this week. I've got some events coming up. I got my mum's 70th birthday on Saturday. I've got so much going on, and meetings, etc., etc. Like we all do, you know, I'm not any different to any of you. And I had so much work to do on the weekend. And Tom said to me, I woke up early. I woke up at like 4:30 and I couldn't get back to sleep because I'd been in bed since 6:45. And I went and sat out and had my raw cacao and was just watching the sunrise and pulled some cards and just did a little bit of reading and relaxed. And Tom came out and he said, babe, what are you doing today? Are you going to work? Because he knows I'll often do a bit of work on the weekends. He said, he knows I'm in a bit of a burst. He said, are you working, or I am going to renovate the study. Can I pull the study apart? And we want to rip it out, VJ panel the walls, paint it, give it a nice freshen up, because it's one room in the house we haven't done. We just kind of threw our desks and everything in there and it just feels like a cluttered mess, right? And I said, and he goes, do you want to help? Because I've always said to him, you know, like, I'm there. If you want me to help with the renos, you just tell me when you got a project in mind and we'll do it. And he's mindful. He said, I know you've got a lot on at the moment. If we do it together, we could get it all smashed out by the weekend. And I went, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. I said, I've got so much work to do. I don't care right now. I feel like shit. Let's just do it. I'm not getting on my phone. I'm not getting on my laptop. I just need to paint. I just need to hang out with you. I just need to not think about work and just spend the weekend disconnected from the world. We literally did not leave the house for 2 days straight. Even like our best friends text us and say, do you want to come out to dinner Saturday night? And they're hard to get a hold of. He works overseas. I said, we can't. We're not well. So we literally worked. I sat out Saturday afternoon. The kids were out. Tom and I just lit a fire. Had a fire, I had some nice soup and a honey lemon drink down by the fire, and it was beautiful. Then we worked all day again Sunday, getting it all back together because I had to have it all dried and pieced back together, all the desks and everything ready for me to work today. So I'm like, Tom, you know what? I've got so much on. I just don't care. Let's just do it. That's just what I felt that I needed. And so I know when I get like a bit of a cold or flu, it doesn't happen very often. I know it happens to force me to rest, and I know that it literally lasts. It just doesn't drag on. I might get hit for 24, 48 hours max. I probably still sound a tiny bit nasally. And it's like I get like all these flu symptoms that people might have drag out over like a week or two. It just hits me boom, boom, boom in 24, 48 hours. And then I'm kind of good to go again. And it can hit me quick. I didn't feel it on Friday, right? It was only on the way home. I'm like, what is going on? And then as I'm driving home, I'm thinking, Jen was right. She's so intuitive. She's highly intuitive. She's amazing. And she said to me, Lisa, I've been working on your body for like 7 years. I know when something's not quite right. This is your warning. And when I was driving, about to take my car to get service this morning, I thought to myself, that warning light on my engine, on my car, was a physical manifestation, a reflection of what was going on with my actual body. Because my engine warning light come on at the same time that my physical body, Jen was my warning light. I kind of ignored her a little bit. I took it on board. I definitely took it on board. But I thought, I'm just busy at the moment. It's just a period. I know Jen knows what she's talking about, but you know, I know me, I can do it. It's just the weekend. It's just a couple of weeks. I'll get through to July and then everything will be kind of settled. Well, Jen was right. I got wiped out literally for the whole weekend, but it was what I needed. It forced me to rest. It forced me to look at my priorities. It forced me to go, you know what's the worst thing that can happen? Work can wait, like it actually can. And the other reason I want to tell you this story is, or I guess like the lead up to it, when I was talking to Sally on on Friday at the day retreat, we were having a bit of a chat at the end of the day. And Sally said to me, she goes, Lise, you know, I watched you in action today and you're amazing at what you do. So I was doing meditate. I just do what channels through me, right? Is what I share with the girls. So I don't have a particular plan. I know what I'm going to do. Like I know I'm going to do a meditation and some gentle movement. And then I thought to myself, I might do some EFT tapping with the girls. But I just go in with the intention, give the girls what they need, God, source, universe, you pour through me what is needed in the moment, and I'll just surrender and be the vessel, right? So that's the intention that I go in with a lot of things, with my classes, with my retreats, with everything that I do. When I podcast, pour through me what this audience needs to hear when they put this on, okay? And so in the moment when I was with the girls on the day retreat, I felt I'll pick the playlist in the moment, put the playlist on, got the girls doing this beautiful, gentle movement. I connected them in with source, God, source, angels, universe first to kind of teach them how to connect in and root into the earth. Got them moving, and then I guided them through a meditation. The meditation that I kind of thought I would do in my head as I'm speaking it out. This was like on the car drive down. I had a bit of an idea of a vision. As I was speaking it out, it's like my mind took me on a completely different scene. So I start replaying this scene to the girls, and I could see they were in such deep meditation. It was beautiful. And then we get to the end, and I do some EFT tapping with them, and the sun was setting. I get them standing in the sun, feeling the rays of the sun. It was beautiful. And so many of the girls said to me afterwards, they said, that was magic. Like all I felt was love. I got so much clarity. I've never felt a meditation so clear in all my life. Like that was just beautiful. Girls that had never done anything before said, what did you do? That was amazing. I'm emotional. I don't cry. You've just brought so much emotion out on me. It was just magic. And Sally said to me, she said, Lise, she said, you have a gift. You have a real gift. And I don't think that you realize just how, I'm not saying this to, go look at me. I've got a point here. And she said, I don't think you realize how amazing you are at what you do and how much you impact people. I think you're too accessible. And as I've said that, this big fish has just jumped out of the water and landed. So Kira's sitting up. I'm down on my jetty. It was raining this morning and now it's beautiful and clear. It's like a glass lake out here. Get on YouTube and have a look. It's beautiful, right? That fish was like a little sign from the universe to go, yes, what Sally said was right. Because I just said that line. This is how the universe speaks to us, right? So I'm speaking to you as I'm podcasting to teach you that this is how the universe speaks to you. This is how you get signs like from nature. You get signs, whether it's words on a song, you get all signs will come to you, but it's up to you to pay attention, right? So Sally said that to me. She said, Lise, you're too accessible. And I sat with that, and she was just talking about, she's like, you need to be doing your Reiki in the studio. You need to be doing one-on-one, because I do Reiki with the girls, like the group Reiki, as I am doing the meditation and the movement. I'm doing Reiki with the girls. I'm using Palo Santo. I'm doing whatever comes through to me in the moment. She said, you need to be doing Reiki. This is how much you need to charge. You're not charging anything less. She said, because this is what you're worth. And this is half what I think you should be charging. We're going to get to doubling it, because you're too accessible, that people don't realize the value that you offer and the value that you bring, because you give so much, which is amazing. She said, but you're the founder. You're the founder of this brand. People need to value what you bring and the energy of what you bring and what you offer. And it's really unique and it's really special. And people out there are not like you. And I don't think you value it enough. So I drove home feeling quite emotional about that. Thinking about probably how accessible I am for a lot of people, and I know you feel the same, right? So as I'm talking for the rest of this episode, I want you to think about how you're too accessible for people, because I'm going to give you some examples, okay? And this is not bad, right? So this is not bad. This is not to say I'm never going to let you have access to me again, right? I'm up here and you're not. Like, this is not like that at all. This episode is around learning to protect your boundaries and learning to see the value in yourself and learning to charge what you're worth, whether that be through what you charge or through your workplace, not letting people take advantage of you. A whole range of things you will know, because I'm going to say something that's going to trigger something in you. It's going to spark something in you, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So she said that. I've driven home and I'm thinking about that. I've been hit with the flu, completely run down. And as I was painting with Tom yesterday. So I had the weekend off and we were painting and VJ paneling and doing all this cool stuff, making it look beautiful little coastal cottage. And I said to him, I said, like, this anger come over me. Like, it was on the Sunday morning. I started to get angry, and I'm not an angry person. Just some things triggered me. We've got my mum's 70th birthday coming up this weekend. And I said to Tom, I said, I'm just so fucking angry. He said, what's wrong? Because I'd snapped at him a couple of things. And he just kind of gives me a look and he's like, hey, like, and I went, I know, I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention. I said, I'm just really angry. He said, why? I said, I'm thinking about like I've got my Orma's still alive. She's 86, right? And I talk to her all the time. She lives between our house and one of my uncle's houses. And I said to him, I said, we've got an opportunity for the whole family to get together this weekend, extended family. There are a lot of people coming, but I said, there's a lot of people, like a lot of, say, cousins and things, uncles and that, they're not coming. And I said, they've got an opportunity to see Orma. I said, I'm just so mad that why she's 86. Like, it is a gift to get to my age at 47 almost and have an 86-year-old grandmother. And same with like all of the family. Like, why are they coming to see her enough? And I was just like angry about that. Like, why don't they ring her enough or text her enough? And he's like, geez, settle down. I'm like, I feel like I want to send a message to, because I'm the eldest of all the cousins, to all my cousins and say, like, pull your head in. Like, people drop everything when they've got to go to a funeral, but how about you go and see people while they're alive, right? Like, that was triggering me. There was another thing. I jumped on a Facebook page. There was some person out here hooting around on a boat on the weekend, having a great time. I'm watching this young kid and he's out there, his boat was noisy, whatever. I'm like, oh, I stopped painting. Isn't he having a great time? And then he must have, I don't know what happened. His car got bogged near the boat ramp. I think he got impatient and backed it in off the boat ramp in the sand instead of waiting. Don't know. But it got bogged, and then somebody's put a post up on the local forum going, look at this vlog sucked in, we had to listen to you all weekend. And I'm like, what is wrong with people? He was out there having a great time. Instead of, everybody criticizing him, yeah, he might have done the wrong thing, he's learnt a hard lesson, but who cares if there was a bit of noise? He wasn't doing any harm. Why do people have to complain on forums? So that triggered me. Kira, she's barking, there's something else in the water. And then I got triggered by, I had just a lot of things. Like, I got angry this morning too because it was raining early this morning, and I have made changes on my time. I minimized my 5 a.m. classes over winter time because people don't use them all the time because it's winter. People sleep in. I had a couple of people ask me to keep 5 a.m.s every day. So I put it back on the timetable every day, knowing it went against everything in my body. And winter rolls around and it rains, and I'm like, where are all you people that said that you're going to be coming every single day and you're not there? That triggered me. But the reason it was triggering me was when I flip it and I actually look at the deeper meaning, I've let people I've made decisions. It's not on the people, it's on me. I've made decisions to please other people. And that made me feel a bit resentful. It made me feel angry. It made me feel like angry at myself. I'm not angry at them. I was initially triggered, but then I always look at it and go, what's this bringing up in me? And I had to look at it and go, I've bent over backwards to try and please everybody, being accessible, right? To put things on timetable, to make sure it suits every other teacher, to make sure it suits everyone. And I look at everybody's situation and I try my hardest to fit in with so many people. That was where the deeper trigger was coming from. When I was saying to Tom, I reflected on it this morning when I was saying to Tom, like, I was angry at my, some of my cousins and that for not spending enough time with my Orma. I thought about it and I thought, do you know what? Because what was triggering me was I was thinking, we're all busy. We've all got, some of my cousins don't have kids or anything yet. And I'm like, we're all busy. We're juggling kids, we're juggling families, we're juggling work, we're juggling business. One day this person's not going to be with us. And wouldn't you have wished you spent time when you were with them? When I reflected deeper on that, I was actually saying it to myself because I was thinking, I have had to have a good hard look at myself and go, I've been spending so much time with my work, with my business, that I'd been a bit short with my mum on the phone, or I hadn't been popping around and seeing my immediate family as much as I usually do. I haven't seen my sisters as much. I haven't seen my little niece and nephew as much. I haven't seen Tom's mum as much, because I've been so wrapped up in my own world of being busy and with what's going on in my business, that I actually was angry at myself, even though I felt like in the moment I was taking it out on those other people who hadn't visited my grandmother. Yeah, I'm still a bit triggered by that. But at the same time, I felt like I was so accessible to everybody around me. I was accessible to all the messages that I get at all the different times. When I was short on the phone with my mum, I've got to go. Not short as in rude, like sometimes I might be a bit blunt, but like, I've got to go, I've got to get to this meeting. And I kept being really short. My dad popped in the other day to drop off the trailer, and I was on a conference call with Kiki, the founder of Kavari. And I said to him, I said, you can pop in at this time, but Dad, I'm on a conference call. And he pops in, chats with Tom. He wants to come and see me. He comes up the stairs, opens up my office door. You know my dad. Many people know my dad. He just opens the door, walks in. He doesn't even know what a Zoom call is. I'm in this meeting and Kiki's saying something about like my business. And he comes up and he just gives me a big hug and says, because my first thought was, Dad, I'm in a meeting with all these founders. And he gives me a big hug and says, I love you, dear. And he waves to all these girls on a Zoom call. I'm like, oh, Dad, I love you. And then he walks out, and that's fine. But I realized that I've been so accessible. I'm leaking energy everywhere, that those that matter close to me, I've probably been a bit short with them, and I've probably not spend as much time with them as I should have. Even painting on the weekend, I had a couple of my sisters, because we got Mum's 70th, were messaging me about a few things, and I was getting a little bit irritated at, we've all got our own jobs, we're all working together on Mum's 70th, which is great. And I was like, a bit triggered by that. I'm like, Tom needs me to paint. I was just triggered by everything, right? And then I had to sit with it, and I thought, why am I feeling this way? I've got sick for a reason, because I needed to slow down. I think Sally was right. Like, I've got energy leaks everywhere. I'm not doing things at 100% because I'm trying to do too much. I'm doing things at 80%. There's things that I've missed. I've missed changing teacher covers over on the timetable, that my teacher's messaging me. Poor Stacey's messaging me. She goes, I was covering Tanya's bar and you haven't changed it over yet. I'm like, shit, I haven't done that, because I'm not doing things at my full capacity, because I feel like I have got like doors open everywhere, that I'm feeling run down, I'm feeling depleted, that I had to get a real stock of my energy and where I was leaking my energy and what I'm doing to myself. And as I was driving to the mechanics this morning, I was thinking about all of this. And as I'm driving there were eagles sitting on the power lines. Like, you can't make this up. I think I counted 5 eagles sitting at multiple spots on the power lines. The song come on. There's a song on my Raising My Vibrations playlist called Me First. This song comes on. It's all about putting yourself first. I just break down and start crying. And I'm like, what is wrong with you, woman? But I know it's coming up because it's stored emotion and how I've been feeling, that the words were triggering me. The words were making me feel like I'd been neglecting myself, like I'd been abandoning myself to a certain degree. So what I recommend, girls, put that song on. If you're feeling this way, put that song on, belt it out, and just listen to it over and over and over again. And I want you to ask yourself the question, are you putting you first? Because I had to look at the big picture, the big scheme of things, and go, what is most important to life? Things will get done. Yes, I didn't have this podcast episode out on my Monday. I like to have it out first thing Monday morning for my listeners. I didn't have it out. What's the big deal? Like, I got it done. I'm getting it done now. It'll be out by the end of the day. But I was putting so much pressure on myself, when really some people, look, I know when the time comes on a Monday morning, I have a little check, and there's been like 20 people that have listened to it every Monday morning by about 8 o'clock. So I know people look forward to it, and I feel bad that it's not straight out, but I'm like, at least 1 week, it's not going to hurt, right? So I want you to play that song over and over and over, and I want you to see what it stirs up in you. I want you to see how you feel when you listen to that. And I want you to think about, how are you too accessible? There's many different ways, okay? You could be too accessible in your work. You could be working so hard that people rely on you so much, or that, like you might get constant emails come through, or your boss might ask you to do things, or other teammates might rely on you so much because you don't have enough boundaries in place. It could be that you're so accessible as a mum, like within your family, like you drop everything and run the kids here, there, and everywhere. They've got a birthday party, they've got this on, that on, this on. And when I look back, I go, is it that important that your kid goes to every single birthday party? Like you've got to ask your question. I'm just planting the seed. You've got to ask the question. But does your kid need to go to absolutely every little thing if it is draining your energy and feeling like you're just too accessible, that you are sacrificing yourself to please everybody else around you? Your kid will be fine if they don't go to every single birthday party, okay? Are you too accessible with your emails? For some of you may run your own business. Some of you may be stay-at-home mums. Some of you may be retired. Your kids might be older. Some of you may be, working for somebody. I want you to look at it from your situation. Are you too accessible by emails, by messages, by social media messages, where you're not having a boundary and turning off at a particular time in the day or night, and you're not honoring those boundaries, and you're being accessible all the time because you feel guilty? Are you too accessible to your friends, and you're the person that everybody comes to, when then you get left feeling depleted because they've dumped their stuff on you and walked away? Maybe you're feeling too accessible that way. Maybe, to your partner, maybe there's people around you that are going through things and they rely on you to fix their problems when they need to do some of the work on themselves. It could be through gosh, there's so many different situations. You have to ask yourself the question, like, where are you leaking your energy? Where are you letting people to have unlimited access to you, and it's actually making you feel, even if in the moment it's fine. Like, I know when I'm chatting with my girls, and with all of my girls in my community, it's never a bother when people message me, right? Like, it really doesn't. And I love chatting with people. But I started thinking to myself, am I putting the correct boundaries in place that I said to myself that I would a long time ago, and have certain hours that I would be with my family and certain hours that I would actually respond to people? No, I haven't been, and that's on me. That's not on them, because you set the standard, you set the example for how you let people treat you or have access to you. If you're one of my clients, don't freak out and go, I can't message her ever again. Like, no, that's not the point. Like, don't worry about that, because I do honestly love hearing from you guys. But I know on weekends sometimes I might need to clock off a little bit more on the weekends instead of working so much. And when I work, I love what I do. For me, it doesn't feel like work. Like I said to Jen, I said, I don't feel stressed. And she said, I know you're not stressed. I said, because I love it. I'm loving developing new things. I'm loving the creative stuff. I love working with my clients. Like, it's not like I'm going to a job I hate. Like, it honestly brings me joy. I can wake up early in the morning, inspiration will come through for a post or a podcast or something I'm writing for my coaching girls, and I'll sit there and I'll write it. And she goes, but that's it. She said, it's you're not switching off and doing the things that you need to do for yourself every single day, and giving yourself a day off or enough time to actually honor you, to actually take care of you. And it might not show up in a point of you're stressed. You know how you feel heightened and you feel stressed? She said it might not show up like that, but it can show up where your body gets sick, like I have on the weekend, to force you to rest. It could show up where you get angry, like I did. Here's another eagle soaring overhead. Like, I got so triggered and angry that I was snapping for no reason at all. It could show up in tears, like when I was listening to that song, Me First, and I just started crying. It could show up where you feel you hear something, like words of a song can show up, or it could be through a message like Sally gave to me. Somebody says something, or a line that you read in a book, or something I'm saying in the podcast. Something will sit with you, something will trigger a thought in you, or something to reflect on in you. And then it's up to us to pay attention, right? It's up to us to go, you know what? I actually need to pay attention to that. I actually need to, like the Angels framework, have awareness. Ask yourself the question, where am I too accessible? Where am I leaking my energy? Where am I feeling run down? Where am I feeling depleted? Where am I feeling maybe sick or maybe irritable? Have the awareness of how you're feeling then, and nourish yourself. Like, nourishment can come in so many different ways. Yes, it's obvious things, self-care, yoga, movement, going and having a massage, having nice meals. But like for me, nourishment on the weekend was just switching off and just spending time. Yeah, I was renovating, but that felt good to me because I like it. And it's making my home feel more homely and more organized. And I had fun with my husband, and then we went and had a fire. So for me, that was a nourishing weekend. Gee, check in with your guidance. All those signs that I've told you were little signs, guidance coming from the universe, telling me. I even had like Selena Gomez's song was playing, would just randomly come in my head, calm down, calm down. Like little signs that can come through. Are you paying attention to the guidance that is coming in around you? Because it's telling you what you need to know, and it's up to you to pay attention. Notice in your energy. How are you feeling in your energy? Are you feeling like your energy is leaking because you're scattered? Are you feeling like your energy is heightened? Are you in your, E can stand for energy and emotions, because emotions are your energy in motion. Are you feeling, depleted in your energy physically, where you're feeling sick, you're feeling run down, you're feeling tired? Are you feeling like you want to retreat from the world, like you want to pull your energy back in and close off from other people and put your walls up? Like, I didn't want to leave the house all weekend, so I listened to my energy. So notice what's happening in your energy and your emotions, and are you actually listening to it? L in the Angels framework stands for love. Have love and compassion for yourself. Like, I had to have compassion for myself and go, so what if my podcast is a day late? Okay, I don't do it all that often. I had to be compassionate towards myself. I had to look at the situation, how I was feeling through the eyes of love. Yeah, I was getting angry. Yeah, I was getting triggered. But then I had to look at it through the eyes of love and go, how can I be a bit kinder to myself or to those people around me that I may be feeling a bit heightened or angry towards? How can I have that love and compassion for myself? How can I have more love and compassion for the situation? So look at everything through the lens of love. It's okay to get angry. It's okay to get triggered. It's okay to cry. Like, it's okay to feel these things. But then how can you bring that energy to love in every single situation through the eyes of God, the eyes of Source? Love means forgiveness. It could be forgiveness to yourself, forgiveness to other people. Like, don't get mad at the people that are maybe having too much access to you. Maybe you've let them. So maybe have a bit of compassion towards them and have it for yourself, because maybe you've allowed them because you haven't had enough firm boundaries, okay? So surrender. S is for surrender. Surrender into what is needed. I just had to surrender on the weekend and go, you know what, Tom? Yeah, I just need a weekend off with you. I just need to go and surrender to my body. My body gave out on the weekend. I just had to surrender to it. And how do you need to just let go and surrender? Let go of the need to control everything. Let go of, the people pleasing. Let go of having to be so accessible to everybody because you're scared of how they're going to react, because you're scared of upsetting people, because you're scared of what are they going to think of you, because you're scared that they're going to let you down. What do? You end up letting yourself down. That's why I want you to listen to that song, Me First, because it's a really cool song that you can listen to and jam to when you're driving. It's got really cool vibes. But at the same time, like, you have to put yourself first. Surrender to the fact that it is okay to put yourself first. There is a whole flock of pelicans. I hope you can see them in the video. They've just shot straight. Yeah, there they go. Oh, it's beautiful. They just soar, right? They just soar with such grace and such beauty, and they just are who they are. Like, they just surrender to what they need to do, survive. I watch them and I look at these birds. Like, nature is your biggest teacher. Nature just is so present, is just so in tune, is so mindful, it's so beautiful. We get so caught up in our heads, in our constant overthinking, in this constant striving, this constant worry, this constant doing everything for everybody else, doing everything that we feel like we need to do the right thing, that we often lose sight of the moment. We often lose sight of what is the most important thing in life. It's you, it's your energy, it's your loved ones, it's your family. Work can wait. Other things around you that are pushing you for your time and your resources and are trying to get access to you, it can wait. You are your most important, valuable resource. You, your family, protecting your energy, that is the utmost important thing, and it's up to you to honor it and not get to a point where, like me, you don't listen and you get sick and you get run down. So I want to leave you with this card. I pulled these cards this morning. And this first one, Mary Magdalene, she says, I'm the bridge between heaven and earth. I'm fully human and fully divine. And this is where I was going with watching these pelicans. We are here having a human experience in this lifetime, but we are still a soul. We are still this divine being having a human experience. Are you letting yourself have a delicious human experience, or are you missing out on life because you're so busy with the emails, with the socials, with the work, with taking care of everybody else? And there's nothing wrong with service. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that at all, and you know that. But this card says, she reminds us that there's a bridge between heaven and earth, and that we are that bridge. We are both. We are that bridge between heaven and earth. Are you allowing yourself to have this beautiful earthly experience in your soul body? Because if we're constantly stressed, if we're constantly run down, if we're constantly depleted, if we're constantly feeling like we're not enough, we're not doing a good enough job, everybody needs us, and we're angry and we have leaking out energy everywhere, how can you really embody being on this beautiful earth? How can you really embody the loved ones that are around you? Just like I had to come to that realization and go, man, I am not actually giving my family enough time right now because I've been working so hard. We can still work hard, but we need to come to the realization that sometimes we're too accessible, and that I'm getting blocked up. I need to wrap this up. And that we need to go and do what is truly important to us in the moment, which is take care of ourselves and take care of spend time with our loved ones and those things that make us happy. This last card that I pulled was Yeshi Tyogo. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. It says it can be so easy to forget that everything we touch, everything we say, everything we do is not separate from the divine. Yeshi embodied one of the most potent spiritual truths. The female body is an asset to enlightenment, not a hindrance. The body is a vehicle to free us from the idea that there are any limitations to reality. We're both human and divine. We're both mortal body and an eternal essence that continues on. The body too often can be the scapegoat for so much hate, distrust, violence. The body holds infinite wisdom, pleasure, and possibilities. This is the moment to see your gorgeous body as the tremendous gift that it is. It's the moment to realize there is no greater intoxication than being fully in your body from head to soul. She is the call to remember the holiness of your flesh, the deep wisdom your body contains, and the temple you walk around in every day. What helps me remember that my body is sacred? We are walking around in a temple, girls. There's one body to carry us through life. And when you are so accessible to all of the demands of life, when you are so accessible to everything and everyone, often that can cause a hindrance to you, your one sacred vessel. And if we don't take care of it, just like my engine light come on in my car, just like Jen gave me that warning, what happens is we can get sick, we can get run down, we can get depleted, and then we're no good for anybody. We're no good for anybody, for our family, for our loved ones, for our workplace, for our creativity, for our business, for our children, for whatever it is that we're here to do. We have to prioritize our energy and make sure we're not depleting it, we're not leaking it by being so accessible to everybody. So have the boundaries in place, girls, have the awareness, and you know what you need to do. Whatever's come up for you in this episode, you will know by what I've shared, by a situation or a feeling or a sensation that has come up in you, or a voice that's popped in your head. Now it's up to you to honor it. Just like Jen gave me that warning, and I knew it was coming, and I'm giving you that warning. Just like I've had all these little signs and synchronicities, I'm giving that gift of that lesson that I have learned the hard way to you. How are you being too accessible? Reflect on it, journal it, ask that question, put on that song, Me First. And then after you have the awareness, what are we going to do about it, right? Like, what are we going to do about it? It's made me look hard at what changes I'm going to make, about how I need to get some help. I definitely need to get this support in place, and we can't do everything sometimes, girls. We need to get that little bit of support. We need to be okay with asking for help. We need to be okay with saying, I need, like I said to my coaching girls, I said, sorry, I just had to switch off this last weekend. I'll jump in, I'll catch up. But you have to honor what your needs are. So yes, it's good to have the awareness. Yes, it's good to get the signs, but you need to take the aligned action. You need to actually pay attention and listen, put your boundaries in place, and honor what you need, because you only get you. Put that song on Me First, you know. Put yourself first, guilt-free, girls, because everyone around you is going to benefit in the long run. All right, I need to go and blow my nose. I feel all like I can't breathe through my nostrils. So you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you in the studio soon, my friends. So much love to all of you. Bye.